Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with the update for my Yuh-portfolio of March 2026, and my portfolio worth is now 4,645.50 Swiss francs. This means only up about 15 Swiss francs compared to last month, even though I added Volkswagen and Bayer for almost 200 Swiss francs, and I added 200 Swiss francs as always every month. So this means that our portfolio is down 185 Swiss francs or about 4%. So not great, but not bad either. And adding Volkswagen and Bayer is great, of course. So I'm going to go straight towards my quadrants. That is on the evening of the 24th of March. So on Tuesday evening. And I added Volkswagen because it came down after it presented its results, even though the results were more or less as expected. So it was 13.42, the earnings per share as predicted, but it came down slightly because they had some unforeseen costs that came along as well, but they took it already in 2025. So the earnings per share came down to 13.29. So not that big of a difference, only 1% in fact. And yeah, they send it down, the investors send it down to now a PE of 6.65, and that's for me a sign to buy it. Then you have AXA with a PE value of 11.08, and Swiss Re, because the earnings per share went up to 12.33, there the earnings per share or the PE ratio is now 10.42. So finally it's lower than the PE of AXA. So I was really doubting to buy it, but for me 125 Swiss francs is kind of like yeah, a level where I'm happy of buying Swiss Re, not at 128. So I'm waiting a little bit to buy it. Maybe next month it will be the opportunity to buy it, and then I will certainly pick up an extra share of Swiss Re. Then you have BASF. The earnings per share is 1.60 right now, and the PE is 30.53. But the PE is actually going lower and lower and lower as they continue putting out the good results. With Bayer, it's the same. And yeah, I said that the level at which I'm comfortable at buying Bayer is around 40. So it was around 38 when I bought it, and I'm really happy about picking up 3 extra shares of Bayer. The buyable but needs to drop part is Nestle, DHL, Logitech, Holcim, and Siemens. Siemens moved up from the non-buyable to the buyable but needs to drop, so they are really close at their PE of 18. So I hope they come down even further, and when they are at 18, for sure, no matter what is here, I will put Siemens here and I will pick up a share for sure, because Siemens is on my buy list for already really long, but they are really expensive priced, and yeah, they never came below a PE of 18. So when it reaches a PE of 18 or below, for sure I'm going to pick one share up. Then buyable but there ENG actually moved closer as well to my PE value of 10. So there it is 10.27 even now. So yeah, hoping that that one comes down even further as well, just like for Siemens, but this one is really close. So I was hoping that ENG came down even further, so that I could pick up Volkswagen and ENG, because ENG, it's my smallest position and it's a really great bank, so I really want to add to it as well. Then I moved Shell from the buyable to the buyable but list because yeah, the oil prices shot up, so also the price of Shell shot up, and now it's the biggest position in my portfolio. So I think I bought Shell really well. that rhymes as well, but that doesn't matter. I really like Shell. I'm not going to sell it for sure. It's way too cheap for that. It's only at a PE of 15.36. Then we have PSPN with a PE of 22.19. It's actually pretty expensive right now. AB InBev, it's at 20.13 as a PE. It was even higher. It was actually at around 67, 68 euros, but now it's back below 60. So there is a huge margin as well. But you know, there my level is around 54 euros. Then you have BKW with a PE of 17.25, just as ENG, really close to my buying levels. And then not buyable, but reaching the selling limit. There you have Accor, which really shot up actually. So I don't understand it that the price moved up there, because okay, you have the earnings per share that moved down, but on the other hand, with war present in the Middle East, you expect that tourism is going down a little bit, but on the other hand, yeah, they have a lot of their business in Europe. So it's a great company, don't get me wrong, but for me now it's way too pricey. And then ENI and ENEL, it's really difficult, these two. I really like the Italian market. I really like ENI, I really like ENEL, but they are just way too overpriced for me. Look at this. It's for me it's a PE of 12 and it's almost double. For ENI it's actually more than double right now. Also because just like for Shell, the oil prices moved up, and yeah, ENI moved along just like Shell, but it's just way too overpriced for me. So I'm thinking about moving SAP in and AD Delhaize as well for these two stocks. Maybe the people from Italy will be furious because then I don't have any Italian stock anymore on my watch list. But I think with AD Delhaize and SAP, I have better companies than here, and my alternatives for ENI, Shell, and for ENEL, BKW are, in my view, way better than ENI and ENEL. So next time you can expect ENI and ENEL to be away here, and then SAP and AD Delhaize will take their praise. Infineon still way too overpriced, and then you have Swatch, which is, even though the bad perception is still there a bit, I think for the real investors into Swatch, it doesn't matter that much anymore. And then China is actually performing okay. You also have the other brands saying that the economics in China is showing improvement. So I think we can start to eliminate those two things here. But I still let it show because it's always a good reminder in the back of our heads to keep the feet on the ground, and also keep in mind that the PE value is still really high for Swatch. So for me, I will leave them here and not treat them like BASF and Bayer just yet. So they are still on the sideline of not buyable. So I bought Volkswagen. I bought one piece for 90.25 euros. So that's actually quite cheap, but yeah, I didn't want to buy two pieces of Volkswagen. One was enough, and with the cost, it came down to 91.39 euros. So their PE value is rising as their earnings per share is dropping, but the price came down. So their PE value was actually also lower than the time before when I bought it. Then I even bought it be above 100 euros. So it's, for me it's really great because I added another share to my portfolio, and way cheaper than my previous purchases. Actually, the cheapest stock that I bought, the other one was around 92 euros that I bought 2 shares. So yeah, great addition. The earnings per share is dropping due to the margin pressure, the restructuring cost, and investments that Volkswagen is making. So the restructuring costs, I hope that they are finished. So also in the Audi group, that they are finished there as well, so that they don't need to take extra, how do you say it, writing offs on their bookings this year. And when that is the case, they have really great cars. They are selling a lot. Their selling numbers are going up. So I believe in 2026 they are going to put out great numbers, even though we have a war going on. So, but that's always something else. So I believe that they are making the right decisions. They got some extra room because of the EU is backing down from the deadline of 2035 for cars selling with the fuel engines. So it gives Volkswagen the time to act, and they are doing just that. Another positive point is that Volkswagen is focusing on electrical vehicles and on producing more in the European Union, including also the batteries. So you have the Salzgitter plant that they are, yeah, that they are going to build and taking into operation. So the EU also mentions this plant in their plans to increase battery independence. So maybe Volkswagen is going to receive extra financial support there as well. But I mentioned this the previous time that I bought Volkswagen as well, and since then I haven't heard anything about that, so maybe that's not the case. And either way, they don't really need it. They have money enough, and they have great cooperations with other firms in China and in America as well. I also bought 3 pieces of Bayer, so at the price of 38.625 euros. I could have waited a little bit on Wednesday morning, and then I could have picked it up at 38.20 or so, but yeah, I put in my orders, they get executed on you, and that's the price that I got. So it's 115.88 euros. With cost, it's 117.05 euros that I invested for buying the 3 pieces of Bayer. The previous time I bought it at 35.50. Then it started rising to about 47 euros, 48 euros even. So it was a bit crazy, but that was because of the great news from America with the Monsanto trial being going into the right directions. And since then, the enthusiasm cooled down a bit. I was also saying, yeah, it's great that it rose so quickly, so I'm in the green. But on the other hand, investors are always overreacting. So luckily for me, it came down, so I could pick up 3 extra pieces. And for me, the price of 38.625 euros is certainly not bad. So I didn't want to buy the whole 200 Swiss francs that I invest monthly into buying extra pieces of Bayer, because it still comes down to risk for me. They still have a negative earnings per share. So I think it's going to turn positive soon because they have a great pipeline of new drugs lining up. Also, the fact that the uncertainty around Monsanto is almost completely gone is great news. But yeah, they still need to confirm their turnaround, and they need to do this for a few quarters in order for me to really, if they are still below 40 euros, to put in the whole 200 Swiss francs at one go. So, still happy. 3 pieces is excellent. Now I have 7 pieces in total. And if you look at now at the end of Friday, the 27th of March, I deposited 200 Swiss francs on the 25th and invested on the 25th. So in total now I have already deposited 4,300 Swiss francs into my Yuh account, and the total on Yuh account is now 4,645.50 Swiss francs. You can also see the conversions of the amounts that I had. So 91.39 euros, it came down to 84.55 Swiss francs. I took the picture before the conversion was made for the paying the 117.04 euros. But yeah, I calculated it, or I took the number after and calculated the amount that I already invested in total on my Yuh account. So in total 4,645.50 Swiss francs now on my Yuh account, and on my Yuh balance on my pay account I have 31.61 Swiss francs left. So that's really great. I have a little bit cash left over, so when Siemens is coming down, I can for sure buy one share of Siemens, because that's my biggest worry, that when Siemens then hits 200 Swiss francs and the euro is becoming a little bit stronger and I only have a few cents left over on my balance, then I can't buy a share of Siemens, because you still need a 10% reserve on the Yuh account. You always have to keep that in mind when you invest on the Yuh platform. So here are my investments. They are worth 4,614.10 Swiss francs, and everything is almost in the green. Only Volkswagen is in the red and AXA is in the red as well. I'm not worried about that at all. I was also doubting of buying more, but then I saw that Swiss Re is actually PE wise a little bit cheaper than AXA, and Volkswagen and Bayer were just too appealing to me as well. So I have more options now with the Iranian war. I have ENG, I have PKW, I have almost Siemens that is coming down enough. Then I have AXA, I have Swiss Re, I have Volkswagen. Yeah, it's actually quite good that the market is coming down a little bit, so that I have more options of spending my money. Then you have Swisscoin. So there is news on this front. So it went up once again. So I got 5 Swiss coins from buying Volkswagen. I got 5 Swiss coins for buying Bayer. So now in total I have 410 Swiss coins, and it moved up once again, so to 0.02122296, and in total now I have 8.70 Swiss francs in Swiss coins. So it's actually a reward system, and they were always putting every month more money into the pot of the Swiss coin, but now they made an announcement that on the 16th of March, this was the final time that they've done that. So now you have a pool of money sitting behind the Swiss coin, and they are not going to increase it anymore. So if you look at here, this number, it's not going to move for a whole year. The only thing that is going to move is my total amount of Swiss coins that I have. So every buy, I'm still going to get 5 Swiss coins if I do a transfer with my card, but I don't have a card on my Swissquote account or my Yuh account, because yeah, I don't use that. I use my UBS accounts for doing my purchases every day and everything. So for me, this doesn't matter that it goes down from 1 Swiss coin to 0.5 Swiss coins. And the reason why they've done it is all written in the Swisscoin memorandum, and they also send a mail, and in that mail they said, hey, we already gave out around 80% of the Swiss coins, so we only have 20% left. That's why we are reducing the rewards for card rewards. For other rewards, it's still the same, so buying and selling, but I don't do a lot of selling. So far, I only sold MRIs. And yeah, in 2027, the only time that it can go up is when you actually did great. And then the optional dividend may represent a percentage of that profit and can be reinvested directly into the Swiss coin reserve to boost its value. So it's always with a question mark. Maybe they will make a profit, maybe they will pay an optional dividend, and when they do that, it may go to the reserve of the Swiss coin. I don't care that much, but a lot of people, they like receiving Swiss coins, so I don't mind getting them. It's free money, but on the other hand, free money doesn't come from anywhere, and that's what they realized at the Yuh office, and they are just putting an end to extra money injections into the Yuh account, in the Swiss coin account. So that's why this number is going to stay the same for a long time, at least a year. And for me, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to gather my Swiss coins, and then I think when I have 20 Swiss francs or something like that, I will sell them. And then that's that. And from then on, do I really need to continue reporting about the Swiss coin? Let me know in the comments down below, because for me it's really, yeah, it's really not that important. The only thing that it is important for me is in this overview, because I always show how much I have in total, so 4,645.50 Swiss francs. My graph is going up, but that's mostly due to the fact that I add 200 Swiss francs every month. And then my total invested amount is 4,422.33. So I already added 122.33 Swiss francs extra because, yeah, I reinvest my dividends, and I sold MRIs. So that was actually the main contributing factor, because, yeah, my dividends, it's about 46 Swiss francs that I already received for my Yuh account. And then when you see my investments, 4,614.10, well, I always need to deduct the 8.70 Swiss francs from the Swiss coins. And I really don't like it that this always needs to be depicted here. So in fact, my stocks are only worth 4,605.40 Swiss francs. And when you then calculate the profit and loss on the stocks, I still have a profit of 183.07 Swiss francs. So it is up 4.14%, but I lost 185.44 Swiss francs. It should have been in red, but it doesn't really matter. It's a loss of a paper loss of 185.44 Swiss francs. This is a profit, a paper profit of 183.07. So you see that we lost a little bit over 4% this past month. So that's an enormous loss, but it can get even worse in the coming months. But on the other hand, yeah, I will be able to buy the stocks that I'm following for cheap, and that's what it's all about for the long term. And on my deposit amount, I am up 345.50 Swiss francs. So that's a plus of 8.03% and 64.71. Okay, I said 46 Swiss francs, but it's 64.71 Swiss francs. So 18.73% comes from dividends, and the other 280.79 Swiss francs comes from price appreciation of the shares that I own. Here you can see the predicted future dividend for my portfolio, and I'm receiving 58.54 Swiss francs brut in dividends from my Swiss companies and 127.71 euros from my European companies. And with a conversion rate of the euros of 0.919 Swiss francs per euro, in total I will receive 175.91 Swiss francs this year. So that's a current yield of 3.82% and a yield on cost of 3.98%. So once again, really close, just like for our ETF portfolio, really close to the 4% that I'm aiming towards for my rule of 300. And yeah, I really like the fact that I'm adding constantly towards my portfolio, adding a few pieces here and there. Of course, Volkswagen is one of the better ones with a dividend of 6.30 euros. For Bayer, I added three pieces there, but it's only 0.11 euros. So I don't add a lot of dividends there for now, because I think Bayer in the coming years they will start increasing their dividends again. And when they do that, you will see this number go up faster and faster and faster. So it's really a long-term focus here. And then we can go to Getquin. So when we look at Getquin, you see that on Friday, actually the price went down at closing time. So 17:35, the market close here in the European continent. Then there is a trading period of about 10 minutes till 17:45. But yeah, in America it continues, and you also see the prices fluctuate for the shares here in Europe, because where is it? Where is the provider? Where is the provider? Ah, here, real-time data from LSX fundamentals and EOD data from FactSet. So they will always take into account the fact that you have a bid and an ask price, and they always recalculate the fictive price of the shares. So even though the market stands still from 17:30-35 on, they still change the price afterwards. I don't really like that, but on the other hand, yeah, it's just how they do it, and you get used to it. So here you can see Shell is my biggest position. I am up 30% about. So all because in the past month they are, yeah, profiting from the fact that the oil prices went up. Volkswagen, there I'm down 52 Swiss francs, so down almost 10%. And AXA, there I'm almost down 3%. Then you have Nestle up about 3.6%. BKW or BKW, there we are just about break even. BASF up 10%, Logitech up 7.3%, DHL I'm up 13%, AB InBev I'm up 11%, Swiss Re I'm up 3.5%, looking to buy more from that. Bayer I'm up 2.4%, Swatch up 2.4%, Holcim up almost 100%, and yeah, that's because the 1.52 Swiss francs of losses that I took on MRIs needs to be calculated here as well. So actually I'm up about 95% on my Holcim position in total. And then you have the ENG group, where I'm up 44%, and there I'm really hoping that it comes down as well a little bit more, and then I can buy more of this great bank. And here you can see the dividends for 2026. So my prediction is about 175 Swiss francs, and here it says the same thing. So that's really great. And because I already bought more, and they also take into account the dividend CAGR of the shares, next year I'm already previewed of earning 182.05 Swiss francs of my shares. And yeah, it's going to come because April is next month, and there I can expect ENG, Nestle, and Swiss Re to pay out dividends. And then in May, yeah, it's the biggest month. I can expect 82 Swiss francs there from AXA, BASF, DHL, Holcim, Swatch, BKW, and AB InBev. And then here it's Volkswagen mainly together with Shell. It goes ex-dividend the month before, and then it pays out the month after. So yeah, really happy still with how things are going. Still in the green. And with that being said, I thank you for watching to this one. Hope you follow along. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. That helps out my channel enormously. Thank you for watching to this one, and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye.